Hi there, it's the 25th of May 2024. This tree that I'm looking at is my so-called hash tree that I've made quite a few videos of. It's exploded and it's grown a lot. I just thought I'd do an update and just talk about this tree. I've been making some observations. I bought this tree as a little grafted seedling or seedling that was grafted from a nursery about almost 5 years ago as a hash tree, and I was under the impression that it is a hash tree for the past 5 years. Last season's flowers amounted to 2 fruits on this tree, and there's one hanging, well, 3 fruits. But one of the 3 is a little cuke. It's just a flower that wasn't fertilized properly, and then turned into that little cocktail avocado. Anyway, so as this tree, these fruits started growing, and me thinking that it's a hash, I looked at this fruit and I saw that it was quite smooth. And hash is more pebbly skinned. And let's maybe look at the other fruit. This is the second one on this tree, and one can clearly see that this is not a hash but a Fuerte. So the tree that I thought was a hash for almost 5 years turns out to be a Fuerte. And then just to make double sure, I broke one of the leaves off and I crushed it and I smelt it, and it was a very strong, pungent aniseed smell that I got from it. I also picked one of the leaves and I compared it to my other Fuerte tree, which I know is a Fuerte. This tree I grafted myself, a scion that I took from someone else's Fuerte tree. You can also see there's about 15 of these little cukes on them on this tree, and there's a lot of fruits on this tree also. In total there's about 50 fruits on this tree, but you can clearly see that the fruit, this Fuerte, the smooth skin with the yellow lenticels, is the same as these on this tree. So I looked at that, compared, and then also I monitored for 3 days flowers opening on this tree versus the flowers opening on this tree. These were all open in midday as males, no females, all males, as well as that tree. So they were all open as males on the same time, open as males on the same time. That indicates that it is the same variety also, because hash is a B type and Fuerte is a A type, so the flowers should have been open on different times as male and female. So I just wanted to rectify. I always call this the hash tree. It just never fruited, but now that it's fruited and the way that it's grown, I just cleaned it up a little bit on the bottom, those branches that were hanging on the ground, just to get some air into the tree as it's getting rather dense now. It's growing very, very nicely, healthily, and it's very strong. The other thing that I also just want to mention is I've read a lot of research and people saying that Fuerte trees don't set fruits. Not all grafted Fuerte trees sets fruits, like the siblings that's grafted the same scions from the same tree onto the same clonal sort of rootstocks or seedling rootstocks. Not all Fuerte trees bear the same. And this now all makes sense to me, because this tree I grafted 4 years ago, and you can see the trunk is about half the thickness of this one, look how super thick this trunk is. This tree is bigger, stronger, and it's older. It's growing in the same type of soil, pretty much right next to that tree, and it's only bearing this fruit, this little cuke, and the fruit over on the other side. It's twice as high. This one at its highest point is about 3 meters, and this one is 2 meters. So you get what I'm saying, is this tree is a lot bigger, it's older, it's more mature, but it's only got 2 fruits on, whereas this little tree, younger tree, has got about, I haven't counted, but if I take a rough guesstimate, all around this tree there's about 40 odd fruits on this tree. So you can see, and it's just, this is the highest point over there. So I think it holds true. I don't know what the reasons are, but technically speaking, this tree should have had a lot more fruits. It flowered more heavier, but there was just those 2 or 3 fruits rather that stuck on this tree. So with all those things, I just think I'm sure to identify this tree as a Fuerte and not a Hass. Just want to quickly show you how lucky I got with this little rootstock. This was a seed that I planted, very, very strong seed. Cut this tree off, and there's those bud grafts that I did, the single bud grafts. There's the old stock or branches that's now died down, and the graft unions have healed quite nicely. And I just want to show that if you have a strong rootstock, these were grafted on the beginning of Feb 23, so 24 is a year and 3 months. This is how old this, and look at how high these branches are, and look at all those flowers starting to push. There's some flowers entering the cauliflower stage now. This is a Pinkerton, and you can see the curly taco shape sort of leaves, but really amazing when you have a strong rootstock what you can get in a year and a bit. So I'm super excited. There's actually a chance that this little tree might set fruits this year, and that I can pick next year. This little Pinkerton, on the other hand, I got the budwood for this tree from this tree, and you can see it's growing right next to it. This tree is a lot more yellow in foliage color than that tree, and it's all about the rootstock. And this tree, someone actually said to me that this on the comments previous video, that this is not a Pinkerton. It's really clear that it is a Pinkerton. It's a dwarf style tree, but look at that trunk. This tree is 5 years old, and that trunk's not really very thick. So it's just a weaker rootstock. Doesn't mean it won't produce or whatever, but yeah, full on dwarf little tree. Never pruned it, but it's almost, if you look here, the 1 and 3 month year old tree is almost the same height now. It's about 1/2 meter lower than the 5-year-old little Pinkerton tree. So imagine what this one will look in 5 years if it's grown like this just in a year and 3 months. So anyway, just thought I'd show that. I'm really excited about that. That's why I plant as much seedlings as possible, and I just really choose the strongest ones to sort of graft on. And there's a lot of flowers on their way there, everywhere on this little tree. And then everything below, there's this main branch that was up here. that I chopped off, and I just put sealer on. See, there's another little shoot coming out on the side here, and that's perfect. I will wait till that's a little bit bigger and then perhaps just graft another Pinkerton on that, and then I have these 3 shoots, 1, 2, 3. If it doesn't work or doesn't take, doesn't matter. I've got 2 shoots that I grafted Pinkerton on that I'm happy with. Yeah, just to get back to this Fuerte tree, I harvested one of these fruits about 2 weeks ago, and it ripened quite nicely. It was actually quite tasty, oily, and yeah, I was happy with it, but it can definitely be better. So I'm going to leave the rest of these fruits. You can see through there, it's quite a few fruits on this tree. Said about 40, maybe more like 30. Yeah, haven't really done a count. Look at this cute little cuke hanging here, and there's some fruits that's looking more mature. Could probably pick that already, but I if you wait 8 months, there's no point in picking it then. Just wait another 2 months, and then you get like a really high quality fruit. So yeah, that's my mission with this tree. But yeah, it's really low growing, really cool little looking Pinkerton Fuerte tree. Really excited about this. Here's the other Pinkerton tree. You can see it's looking a little bit worse for wear. It's not as green as what it used to be. It's got fruits on, and the fruits are really huge, the same as what they were last year. Except for this year, there's only 4 fruits on this tree, and last year there was about 12, if I remember correctly. So I think it is taking a little bit of a recovery year, because the fruits were quite massive last year. But it's healthy. I mean, there's all the new flower buds coming out. I'll probably definitely do a boron application soon, once the flowers are starting to go into cauliflower stage. Look here next to this tree, these mushrooms, fungus growing here. Look at this cool looking thing. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. And that's an indication of a healthy soil. I'm not going to pick them all. See, I stepped on one there. But yeah, that's really good. That's a really good indication. If I scratch there, look at this little tree's roots over there. So this was a seedling that I planted next to this Fuerte that grew, and I grafted some of the budwood off that big tree that I thought was a Hass, but now is a Fuerte. Grafted it on here, so that means this is also a Fuerte right next to that Fuerte. So this tree I'm going to try and take out come springtime and give it to my neighbor, because I can't have 2 Fuertes growing so close to each other. And the same year, also thought this was a Hass, grafted this one, and it turns out to be a Fuerte. But this one I'll keep because it's growing in a good spot. It's about 6 meters till the next Fuerte, so having these 3 big Fuerte trees at the end of the day, I'm happy with. And that initial one that's only set those 2 fruits or 3 fruits, if it persists to be a really big tree and not produce fruits, I will happily chop it off and regraft with another variety. I see this little Fuerte is also starting to push little flowers now. There they come, super exciting. And I'll just leave these flowers. I'm not going to even bother to break them off if it flowers. This was also a very lucky strong seedling. This seedling's a year old, and look at that width on there. And there's the whole graft union over there. This was the original trunk that I chopped, and yeah, it's well on its way to establishing itself over here, and it's looking really strong. So I'm super psyched about this little tree also. Hope it's one of the Fuertes that bear. Anyway, that was just a quick update on some of the avocado trees in the backyard, and the main purpose for the video was just to rectify this mistake that the nursery made. They obviously had their trees mixed up. It's not a Hass, it's a Fuerte, but doesn't make me less excited. Cheers.